Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome to another playoff episode of my Cincinnati Reds GM Challenge with Out of the Park Baseball 19. So we're in the division series right now against Atlanta. We had home field advantage, but so far it hasn't really helped us. We're down 2-1. I'll give you a recap of how we got to this point, and then we'll go ahead and play through that fourth game. We're in Atlanta, and hopefully we'll pull it out. Otherwise, our season will be over. But starting out with the first game, we really came out looking strong. We won 6-0 at home. We had a great game, really defensively. It's probably not going to show as much in the box score, but Tyler Mahle pitched 8 innings, gave up no runs, but he was on 9 hits. There were several really big defensive plays that saved us. There was a couple of guys, I think, that got thrown out at home. One guy got thrown out at third trying to stretch a double. So it was a lot of good defensive play that won that one for us. And some pretty good offense. Cam Gibson had a home run. Long was 2 for 4. Winker had a 2-run home run. So for the most part, it was a good balance. And then we came through on the second game and just couldn't really get it going. Tried to come back a little late and mount a rally, but lost 6-3. Offensively, not a whole lot outstanding, although Gibson did hit his second home run of the series. Nelson did not pitch a strong game. He went 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs, and then Strope came in and really bombed in the bullpen. Sonny Gray pitched pretty decent. He was the player of the game, but it wasn't a great showing for us. And then we went to Atlanta in game 3 and really just stopped hitting. We lost 5-1. Couldn't get anything going offensively. Votto had a big hit, a big double that drove in a run, and that was about it. I mean, we only got 3 hits in the game. Castillo didn't have a good outing, 5 runs and 3 2/3. Bullpen, though, kept us, tried to keep us in the game, but we were just too far behind at that point. And I think, they didn't get the starter, didn't go too far into the game, but their pitching looked pretty strong. And so that leads us to where we are now, down 2-1. This is an elimination game. We're going against Mike Montgomery, who, for the most part, should be a fairly good matchup. He is a lefty, so some of the guys on the team like Gibson and Winker, I'm hoping they'll be okay. This is the GM Challenge, though, and so I'm letting Girardi run things, and there have been a few things that I've questioned. For the most part, defensively. For instance, he's putting Dahl, a rookie who's really just played very little for us, and I expected him to be just a backup, but he's started in place of Peraza a game or two. Same with instead of Peraza, who has only gotten 1 at-bat this series, hasn't started a game, he's been putting Hernandez in, and Hernandez, he's 3 for 8. His bat's been pretty good, but his defense is not that great at short. You can see he's just rated at 7 at short. I feel like there maybe were a couple of hits that got by him that Peraza may have been able to make. So I'm not 100% sure on some of the lineup choices that he's made, but I got to go with him, because that's part of the challenge. And so we're going to go ahead and play through this game. I'll get it started, but Girardi is going to be taking control of everything, and I'm hoping that's not going to be a bad thing. But we're going to be playing in Atlanta at SunTrust Park, and every time I see these parks, I'm just really impressed with the work that they did. I went to a Reds game. I think I mentioned in a previous playthrough. I've been to several Reds games over the last few years. They did a great job at that stadium too. So I haven't been to the Braves Park yet, but it looks really good in the game. But before we get started on that, let's look at the lineups and see how we match up. Here at the top, looks like Atlanta gets the nod, but you go further down, I mean, it's fairly even. I mean, Shedrick Long should be matched up pretty well against them. But looking against Montgomery, we haven't seen him too much this year. Almora is 2 for 2, though. Hopefully that's a good thing. But once again, he's going with Dahl in that starting lineup. That's leading off, starting short. I hope that's not going to be a bad thing. But got Votto batting second. Senzel, who has he hasn't been too strong in the series so far. Then Gibson, Long, Winker batting low in the order. Almora, Barnhart, and Nicholas gets the start today. He ended the season off pretty good. He wound up winning 7 for me, 13 between us and Seattle. I'm hoping he's got enough to help us out here. So let's go ahead and get it started. Dahl leading off against Montgomery. And 1-0 count. Takes a while to get through the intro. And he drills it through it's going to fall. So we start off with a base hit. And Dahl has some speed. Montgomery, though, let's see. His hold is about a little bit above average. I mean, this could be a place to run. And a good hit from Votto, but Dahl hesitated there, waiting for it to fall. So first and second, Senzel up, full count, and he walks him. So got bases loaded, no out. For Cam Gibson, who against lefties, he's going to struggle. It's a 2-2 count, and he drills it deep. That should get a run home, I'm hoping. And Dahl's going to be running. So we take an early 1-0 lead. Still just 1 out. Runners on first and second for Long. I think Long, I don't think he bats. Yeah, he struggles against lefties, so might not see much from him here. It's 2-1 count, and he lines that to the left, and it falls down. And Votto's going to go around and score, and it's 2-0. Brings up Winker. Just 1 out still. And he hits him. Oh, man. So bases loaded for Almora, who, again, is 2 for 2 career this year against Montgomery. And he cranks that one pretty deep. I think that'll score another run. And Senzel comes in to score, so 3-0. Did not expect to see that, but the offense just really needed to get cranking. Barnhart strikes out, though, to end the inning. Big inning, though. Big way to start the game. So now we got Nicholas going. I hope he's got enough to stay in there for about 5 or 6 innings. Grounder to Senzel. Albies will be out. Now we got Demerit as he's really been hurting us in this series. He's hitting .545, a home run, 3 RBIs. And this guy's just not rated that strong. I mean, his contact is just 8. He's got good power. I feel like we need to start getting this guy out. I'm not sure why. We shouldn't be letting him beat us. And here we go again. That's deep to the corner. That's going to be a double. This guy's definitely on a roll. Now we got dangerous Freddie Freeman up. And he hits that one into the alley, and Almora tracks it down. So, whew. Good job there. Now we got Acuna up. 0-2 count. And he pops him up to shallow center, and Almora gets there. So we got through the first inning. It's still 3-0. And we got Nicholas leading off the second. And he hits that one hard. That's going to be extra bases. He should wind up at second at least, and he does. So, leadoff double for the pitcher. Now Dahl up, a 1-2 count, and he strikes him out. Again, I know he led off the game with a hit, but I really question that guy being in there. And Votto strikes out. So now last chance for Senzel. It's 2-0. And a weak pop-up to right should get us out, or get in the inning. So we go to the bottom of the second. Brett Cumberland, who's also looked pretty decent in this series. A lefty leading off against Mikolas. And that's a grounder through the infield. I don't know, I guess it went through Long's legs there. So they lead off with a hit. McCutcheon up. He's hitting 300 in the series. A grounder that gets by. Again, I don't know if... although Dawes' defense probably comparable to Peraza, but I still would like to see Peraza being used a little bit more. There's another hit through the infield. So they got bases loaded now, no out. And Mike Montgomery up. It's a 1-0 count. A grounder to short. He goes home with it. And it looks like they did get the runner at home. So now we got Camargo up. A 1-2 count. He needs a strikeout here, and he gets it. So we got 2 outs now. If he can get this out here, he will dodge a huge bullet. And he's not going to do it. That's going to be through second again. 2 runs going to come in to score. So it's a 3-2 game. Demerit up, who's just still, I don't know what the secret is against this guy. I think at this point, I would not be pitching to him. So we're down 5-3. He is definitely on a hot streak, and that could really, this might be enough to swing the momentum all the way around. He is 615, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and another hit through the box. Now Acuna up, and they got to get him out of there, but no, it's Votto's able to catch it. So we're down 5-3 now as we go into the third. Cam Gibson is going to lead it off. First pitch, and he hits that one deep. That should be extra bases. And he's going for 3. And he's in there. So Gibson, a leadoff triple. Now Shedrick Long up. He needs to bring him home. And I think he's going to do it. That's a slow grounder. So they got the runner at first, but he did bring a run home. So it's 5-4. 2 outs now for Almora. And he gets that one down into past the third baseman. He's going for second on that. And he's in there. So now Barnhart need another hit. And don't think that'll do it unless he drops it. Okay, so we grind back a run thanks to that leadoff triple, but Mikolas still in there, bottom of the third. Full count, strikeout. That's his second strikeout of the game. Full count again, walks him. So we got McCutcheon on with Inciarte up. And that's going to be a liner to short. 2 away, Montgomery's still in there. He's going to be batting. And he gets another pretty deep fly ball. And Winker's able to catch up to it. So we're through 3, 5-4. Offense is really coming alive. Now we got Stevenson coming into bat. So Mikolas is going to be out of the game. A weak grounder. And Dahl up, and that one's going to get through. So he's got his second base hit of the game. Not too bad from him. Votto up now. Votto just can't seem to handle the lefties anymore. Oh, but he gets hit. So we got runners on first and second with 1 out for Senzel. Senzel hitting 100 in this series. And that's going to be double play. It's amazing how, some guys get cold and they stay cold through the whole playoffs, and then you got a guy like Demerit just tearing it up. So Camargo is going to be leading off against Lorenzen, who has looked pretty good for us so far in this series. And a deep fly ball, I don't know if that's going to be playable. But Almora, he's able to track it down. Albie's up now, 1-1. A little pop-up. I think Barnhart's going to get to that one. Now, 2 away, Demerit. Walk this guy. Just don't pitch to him. It's a full count. And he hammers that one not as deep. And looks like finally get him out. So a nice 1-2-3 inning. And we got Gibson up now. Tyler Duffy's going to be in for the Braves. So we need to turn it on here. It's 0-2 though against Gibson. And he strikes him out. And now we got Long up. 2-1 count. Need a home run. And pretty weak fly ball to the left. It's a 2 away. And Winker's up. He's going to be the last chance this inning. A 0-1 count. And they had him played to the shift, and he grounds out. So we're halfway through the game now, and 5-4, close, but man, we need to win this one. Freeman up, grounder to Long, he's out. Acuna up, a 1-2 count, strikes him out looking. I tell you, Lorenzen has looked pretty good so far. Full count against Cumberland. He's going to pop up to left, and Gibson had to dive to get there, but he catches it. So 3 away, 3 up, 3 down. It's up to that offense now. We need to start hitting. Now Moore leads off, a weak pop up to left, and now we got Barnhart up, 0-1 count. He got a home run, I think, in that last game. That's a liner down to left field. He's going to stay at first, though, on that one. So Barnhart offensively, yeah, he did have a home run. He hasn't been all that great, but that was a big hit for us. Now he's bringing in Hernandez to pinch hit, and he's going to pitch hit straight into a double play. Just can't get anything going right now. Even though we've out-hit him, that second inning, that was huge. And this is another move by Girardi that I've really been questioning. He's been using Peralta a lot in these last couple games. Even though he's only got 1 and 2/3 innings, I think he's used him a couple of times now. This will be his 3rd time using him. And I don't like the way he matches up against righties. And I'm really skeptical that's the best move. So McCutcheon kind of proves me right, leads off with a single. And now against the lefty Inciarte, another hit, and McCutcheon's going to make it to 3rd, looks like, on that one. So this game's going to get away from us now, and he's staying with him. I just don't understand that move. So they played the infield in, managed to get through that one, but now he's keeping him in there. I'm really skeptical, and that's going to do it. I mean, that may be a home run. Nope, it's not deep enough, but it's deep enough to get a run home. So now we're down 6-4, and he's staying with Peralta. Don't understand that. And that's another hit through the infield. That'll score another run. Finally, he takes him out, but he brings in Cole Hamels. And that's a fly ball to the left. That should get us out of the inning, but I tell you, that Peralta bringing him in probably cost us this game. I don't understand why he did that. So now we got Dahl leading off against new pitcher Boxberger. We've got a lot of ground to cover, and he's going to lead off with a fly ball to shallow left. So 1 away for Votto, 2-1. And he jams him, and that's a weak pop up to left, and it's not going to fall. It's starting to run out of outs. So here comes Senzel, 3-0. He may walk him, and he does. So with Gibson up, they're playing that heavy shift. It's full count, and he walks him. A home run right here would be nice from Shedrick Long. They're keeping Botsberger in there. It's a 1-1 count, and he hits it to right, and so Senzel was able to come around and score on that. I thought that was going to be close. So we're back 7-5. That's still makes me hate that 6th inning even more. So they're leaving Botsberger in there against Senzel, another full count, and a weak grounder to second. So he gets out of the inning. So 7th inning stretch, we are running out of time. And we got Hamels still in there against Freddie Freeman. A weak grounder to short. Excuse me. Man. That gets us one out with Acuna up. And Hamels still in there. And it's 3-1 count. He's going to walk him. I would hope, I don't know why he keeps relying on the lefties, but I would hope he'd start bringing him some some righties out of that bullpen. And I know we got more out there. And the fly ball to right. Hopefully Winker will get to this one. So 2 away, and now we got McCutcheon up, and Hamels still in there. And grounder to Long, and he's going to throw him out. So we're down 7 innings, so top of the 8th now. And they've got Trevor Rosenthal in with Almora leading off. First pitch, he might be swinging. And he is, and he hits it deep. And that's going to be a double, at least, and it is. So Almora, I think that's his 2nd hit of the game. And now we got Barnhart in. Full count, and he grounds it to second. That'll move the runner over. And now pinch hitter Friedel. We got the infield in. Rosenthal still in there. It's 2-0 count, and right to the third baseman. So Dahl's our last hope here, and it's a high pressure situation, and he can't do it. So we're down to 3 outs. And Strope's going to be in here now against Inciarte. Now I would think you would have, well, no. Yeah, Rosenthal up. I mean, I'd still think you want the lefties in now out of that bullpen. And bobbled by Votto. That's the first error of the series for us. And it puts a runner on first. And it's going to be a pop up to left. So 1 away, Camargo up. 1-1 count. Another pop up to left. And now Albie's up. 0-1 count. And he hits that one hard down to the left. But they're going to hold him to single. And now big guy up, Demerit. 2-2 count, and he strikes him out. Finally got that guy out. So here we go, last chance. And they've got Jacob Lindgren in. He's not their closer, so they're probably playing percentages here because they got Joey Votto leading off. And it's 2-2 count. Votto, unfortunately, does that a lot. He strikes out. So we got 2 outs to go. 1-2 to Senzel. He strikes out. So this game is over. Unfortunately, we're not going to have a good run this time. 1-2, and he strikes out the side. That's really, really disappointing. But a good season. We're just not going to progress past this. So we go down 3-1. Atlanta handled us really easily in this series, and it was a mix really of just bad pitching and offense couldn't get on track when they needed to. And honestly, Girardi, I think, made some very questionable decisions throughout the series, and that probably cost us quite a bit. But for the most part, the guys who should have showed up and performed, did to an extent. Gibson, Long, they look pretty good, but Senzel had a really weak, even though he got a couple walks, scored a couple runs this game. He had a weak series. So did Winker. He was hit 143, which kind of I know last episode I mentioned he had a really poor start to September. He was hitting at like 150 at one point. So his second half was really a struggle after starting off the first half really strong enough to make the All-Star game. He struggled down the stretch. But player of the game for this one, Albies for Atlanta. He was 3 for 5, drove in 3. Demerit again, 2 for 5, drove in 3. Good game for him. Even McCutcheon had a pretty good game. 2 for 3, scored 2 runs. So let's go back to the playoffs and see how it looks right now. So we've got Indians 2-1 over the Yankees. Twins, who made it through that wild card, they're up over the Astros. And then Dodgers swept the Mets, so it's going to be Braves and Dodgers for a chance at the World Series. So let's go ahead and play through this next playoff round. Oh yeah, Brad Hand is eligible to come off the disabled list. And I wonder, I didn't check his ratings after that. He's got that team option, and like I say, I'm still debating what I want to do with that. I don't know if this guy's worth $10 million, but I'll have to get to that when we get to the off season. So let's go ahead and play until that next playoff round and see what we got now. So Minnesota and Cleveland. That's going to be interesting. And if you look at the standings, they were 1 and 2, Cleveland and Minnesota. So it's going to come from the Central, even though Houston and New York had much better records. That's where it's going to come from. And now, so for the League Championship Series, are we still playing? Yeah, they haven't started their series, sorry. So let's go ahead and play till we get to the World Series. And some close series here for a while there, but it's going to be Cleveland and Atlanta in that World Series. Look at the news. It's Cleveland and Atlanta. Now, if I'm not mistaken, looking at the history, did Atlanta win it last year? No, I'm sorry. I'm confusing this with the Phillies. That's the danger of having these two going. It was the Cubs who won last year against the Angels in this playthrough. So, but Cleveland was in there 2 years ago in 2018. So they're probably going to look for revenge. So let's go back to, we'll go ahead and play it out and see who's going to prevail. I have a feeling Atlanta's going to do it, but who knows? Hurriet is still injured. That guy's been gone most of the year. Now his recovery time is 8 months. Got to be honest, if he comes through and if he's eligible for arbitration, and if he is, gosh, I may just have to let that guy go. I don't want to give him. I mean, he's at 8 months, and we're at October, November, so count this up in my head. November, December, January. He would not even be ready to pitch until middle of the year next year. And that's just a gamble of when he's back off the eligible to come off the DL, will his rating still be the same? So he's going to be a question mark now. So go back to the playoffs. Cleveland up 2-0, which surprises me. I thought Atlanta might have a better chance. Oh, they've even the series. Oh, and they prevail. Went all the way. Went to the distance. 7 games. So a good series from them. We can't feel too bad. We lost to the eventual World Series champs. We got a good score. Finally, that's what is that? A bronze achievement, maybe. So they did give us a good score, but we've got a lot to do now in the off season. Let me see. Check out the news real quick. See if there's anything. So already some decisions here coming up. Cole Hamels voids his last contract year, and that's kind of a relief. I got to be honest. Injuries just kept him from being the pitcher that I needed him to be, and he was making, he was set to make $10+ million, so that's room that we really need. And now I'm looking at Brad Hand, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give him that much money. So he's going to be gone. Now, review from the manager. So he's happy with that we made the playoffs. He's upset that we didn't upgrade at center field. So we're still wanting a nationally popular player. So he's good with my performance. So he wants us to reach the playoffs again, sign Cole Hamels to an extension, acquire a nationally popular player, and reach the World Series in the next 3 seasons, which was issued in 2018. So he wants it next year. So that's going to be a tough one. I wonder what. Yeah, he's still on $10 million a year. There's no way. And we got a new budget. Let me see how that looks. We're still a pretty small market team, but we got some budget room. We definitely have some budget room going into this offseason. $51 million by that count, and that's not counting the guys who are probably that we're going to leave. And so I got some personnel that I gotta get right. Scouts come back with potential 2-star player there. That's better than I see from him sometimes. So we got the arbitration going. Theo Epstein let go by Toronto, and Anderson out at Kansas City. So we made it to the off season. It didn't end like I'd hoped it would, but overall a pretty good season for us. And next year we've got pretty much the same personnel. So I'm going to be back with Girardi, even though, I did question him a little bit in the playoffs. It would be nice if we could upgrade, though, a pitching and hitting coach. I'm going to look and see what's out there. And if we can get an upgrade, I'll go for it. And then there's a few moves that I'll have to make in the minors, which I am pretty much a control freak when it comes to that. So I will try to keep up with that. But otherwise, that's how this season's going to end. Next time, we'll go through offline. I'll probably go through until we get to free agency, and then we'll pick it back up and look at a little bit of the off season before we go into next season. And then that Phillies playthrough, we are in the same location. We're like just now starting free agency. That team, I've really got a lot of focus to make on that team to get them competitive, because we had a disappointing year. Even though we finished with a winning record, there's a lot of holes on that team. I was looking at it again last night offline, and that's one of the poorest minor league farm systems I have ever seen since I've been playing out of the park baseball. I've never had a farm system that bad, so I've got to somehow change some things up and make that better. And if it's not through the draft, it's maybe through better managing, of when to bring the guys up and not, or something's got to give. But that'll probably be, I'll probably go back to that series for my next episode. But as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate the likes, your subscribes and comments, and I'll see you next episode.